Good afternoon. My name is Kurt Hackemer, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and on behalf of our university community, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for attending this annual State of the University Address. As a reminder, the State of the University Address is being streamed live on the USD website and on Facebook. Questions will be answered following the conclusion of the address. For those joining us remotely, please feel free to submit your questions on Facebook, and we will attempt to answer as many as time allows. I have the distinct honor today of introducing our leader who has served the University of South Dakota and the state of South Dakota for over 23 years. She has been a key figure in developing USD's world-class facilities, programs, students, faculty, and staff, in championing USD's foundation in liberal arts, and communicating what that means to stakeholders across the state and the country, in addressing issues in forward-thinking ways, in building successful partnerships, and in being an outstanding advocate for higher education. Her strong vision is a guiding force that helps us achieve higher standards each and every day. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join me in welcoming the University of South Dakota's 18th president, Sheila Gestring.
Thank you. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you all for joining me here today. And Keith, thank you for always being that steadfast support. It means more to me than you can ever know. It's been an exciting and rewarding year. Every day, I am inspired by the mission of this university and the people who work hard to fulfill it. We have accomplished a tremendous amount this past year, and each and every one of you should be incredibly proud of what we have done together. This year has been both historic and transformational for the University of South Dakota. In the past 12 months, we have welcomed new deans into the School of Law, the School of Health Sciences, the USD Community College for Sioux Falls, as well as a new interim dean in the School of Education. We are also currently in the process of a national search for the leadership in the Office of Research. Dr. Mary Berry, Vice President for Research and Sponsored Programs, is retiring after 28 years of service to the University of South Dakota. To our new deans, Neil Fulton, Dr. Haifa Somra, Dr. Carmen Simone, Dr. Amy Schweinley, welcome home. We are excited to see where your leadership takes USD. And thank you to Dr. Berry for her dedication to the success of the research programs here at USD. In addition to being home to generations of South Dakotans, USD has always been a place of service. We serve our students by providing them a supportive educational environment that allows them to develop their skills they need to succeed throughout their entire professional careers. By fostering this environment, USD also serves South Dakota, providing generations of capable graduates that move our state forward. We are its doctors and nurses, its lawyers and entrepreneurs, its teachers and scientists, artists and innovators. Together, we are different makers, and together, we are South Dakota. We cannot focus on our future without first recognizing our past. It's important to recognize that USD exists on the ancestral lands of Native American tribes whose heritage and culture enrich our community to this day. It is with profound respect that we acknowledge the indigenous peoples of this land. USD is special precisely because of its increasingly diverse population of students, faculty, and staff. We are proud of our ability to learn from, and engage in meaningful dialogue with people who may look, think, and act differently than that of ourselves. It's part of our mission to create globally engaged graduates who can excel as leaders in organizations with global reach. But it's also part of what creates an enriching human experience. So let me just say to all of the students, faculty, and staff, whether you're from Vermilion or from South Dakota or from anywhere in the world, thank you for being part of the Coyote family. You are welcome here, you are needed here, and I thank you for being Coyotes. Today I'd like to focus a little time on our progress and priorities and opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. Our Board of Regents has selected a new student system to modernize our processes. This modernization will move us forward to better service, and the incredible amount of work it took to implement this system has been shouldered by some very hard-working and dedicated employees. I want to take some time to thank these folks. The business office, the registrar's office, financial aid, admissions, ITS, and all faculty and staff have exercised incredible patience in migrating this data. Thank you, and thank you for minimizing the disruption to students. A special thank you to Curriculum Coordinator Tammy Latrue, CTL Assistant Director Eric Mostard, ACPC Director Steve Ward, Assistant Director for Financial Aid Ann Emerson, Community College for Sioux Falls Assistant Dean Aaron Anthony, Associate Provost Beth Freeberg, Comptroller Shelley Brunick, Business Office Manager Matt Beach, Financial Aid Director Julie Peer, Registrar Jennifer Thompson, Associate Vice Provost for ITS Cheryl T. Hart, and all of their respective staffs. Across USD, leaders from all areas are preparing for a new era of educational excellence. USD is actively preparing for its comprehensive evaluation and site visit from the Higher Learning Commission, the accrediting body that has accredited this university since 1913. The HLC accreditation process is a 10-year cycle, which includes a quality initiative, assurance arguments in years 4 and 10, and a site visit by peer reviewers in year 10. USD's quality initiative is focused on diversity and inclusion, and our report was completed last month. We look forward to a site visit in September of 2020 and appreciate the hard work that is being done by our accreditation committee. That committee, led by Director of Assessment Lisa Banu, Vice President for Student Services Kim Grieve, Assistant Provost Bruce Kelly, and our Quality Initiative Lead, Associate Vice President for Diversity Lamont Sellers. I want to thank you all for your work. Last May, 42 faculty and staff members began working on USD's next strategic plan. The strategic plan team is co-led by Provost Kurt Hackemer, Vice President Adam Rosheim, and Chair of Economics and Decision Sciences, Catherine Birkland. And our strategic plan champion, the lead for carrying us forward and making sure our plan is a living and breathing plan, Chief of Staff Laura McNaughton. To all of you, USD is indebted to you for your dedication to this important initiative. This new and bold vision will serve as a roadmap for our future, building on a foundation that allows us to better meet the needs of our students, capitalize on our unique strengths, and elevate USD as a leader in higher education. The feedback received by the strategic planning team will be integral in developing a strategic plan that is forward-thinking and capable of adapting to meeting the challenges and opportunities that await USD. We have already begun our listening and data gathering process and will continue to meet with stakeholders through October. I know each of you brings a different perspective on how to make USD the nation's premier small public university built on a liberal arts foundation. Whether you're a student, faculty member, community member, lawmaker, business leader, tribal representative, or citizen of our state, you have a vested interest in USD's success, and we want to hear from you. It is important that we listen to those who care as much about the success of our state as we do. Our legislators, our business leaders, policymakers, and community leaders. Without their confidence, universities limit their ability to help advance the state, the workforce, society, research, and future generations. We must work with them to advance our priorities of South Dakota, and we continue to seek new ways in which to engage them on a deeper level. To be effective, our new strategic plan must be flexible enough to be nimble, but sturdy enough to help us remain true to our core identity as South Dakota's flagship public liberal arts university. It must be both holistic and continually improving, so that it remains focused on the mission of the university and helps us make decisions that are rooted in our institution's values. It is this strategic plan that will serve as our true north as we move forward with new initiatives and innovations. With teamwork and collaboration, this plan will ensure USD remains at the forefront of higher education in South Dakota for decades to come. Yet even as we look beyond tomorrow to see how USD moves South Dakota forward, we will remain dedicated to our identity as the state's first public liberal arts university. Technology changes, industries come and go, but the ability to learn, lead, and innovate will distinguish our students in any walk of life that they pursue. The most fundamental principle in a liberal arts education is learning how to learn. A liberal arts education prepares our students to confront society's most pressing challenges, and they become civically engaged throughout their entire lives. It's how an education at USD sets our students apart. It is our steadfast commitment to providing opportunity to higher education for all South Dakotans that brought about an exciting new change this spring with the introduction of the new USD Community College for Sioux Falls. The new Community College for Sioux Falls fills that gap between the 4 technical institutes and the 6 public universities, reaching students who are not currently enrolling in post-secondary education, but who demonstrate academic readiness. Accomplishing this mission represents a tremendous opportunity for USD and the state. The Community College for Sioux Falls provides educational access to a large and diverse population. Approximately 1/3 of high school graduates in Sioux Falls, nearly 700 each year, do not go on to technical school, college, or university within the first 16 months of their graduation. Through the USD Community College for Sioux Falls and our partner institutions, we will change that. We have also developed a unique opportunity to partner with regional technical institutes like Southeast Tech to build our workforce. Through our Bachelor of Science in Technical Leadership degree, technical school graduates can build upon their 2-year degree and transfer their credits to a bachelor's degree as they grow in their career. I'm proud of the progress that we've made through strategic partnerships with the technical institutes and look forward to better serving the Sioux Falls community through this partnership. In addition to more traditional demographics, the Community College for Sioux Falls will also serve lifelong learners looking to build new skills or finish a degree. In support of its newest venture, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute is providing a $50,000 grant through the Reentry Scholarship Program to help students with a gap in their education finish their degrees. In addition to the Community College for Sioux Falls, the adjacent USD Discovery District continues to redefine our relationship with Sioux Falls and the state. With 2 anchor tenants, Alumend and SAB Biotherapeutics, the USD Discovery District has made a name for itself as the new nucleus for South Dakota biotech. These companies are homegrown and innovation-driven research and development companies that are taking life-changing research and transforming it into creative solutions for underserved clinical markets. The shared space at the Discovery District translates into shared research, a space where scientists not only collaborate but learn from each other. USD is poised to be on the forefront of the next big discoveries, industries, and businesses in South Dakota because of our commitment to innovation and entrepreneurship. With USD's biomedical engineering program located right next door at the Gear Center, we are bridging the gap between education and industry by graduating students who understand industry regulations and the business side of research. This builds the foundation for the future growth that is necessary as we lead South Dakota into the future of biotechnology. Another area of exciting change at USD School of Health Sciences, is welcoming Dr. Samra as dean in May. With more than 2,400 students, the School of Health Sciences is one of the largest and fastest growing schools at USD. Dr. Samra has been a champion for USD Health Sciences since 2014. Under her leadership as chair in the nursing department, enrollment in our baccalaureate nursing program grew by 60%. Board pass rates rose to become the highest among the public institutions in South Dakota, and the department received a full accreditation. A driving force behind the growth in health sciences is South Dakota's tremendous need for qualified health and human services workforce. Healthcare occupations are projected to make up 14% of the state's workforce by 2024. More than 42,000 South Dakota workers are employed in health-related occupations. Nearly 1/3 of all USD graduates have graduated from a health-related field, and nearly two-thirds of those are employed in South Dakota 1 year after graduation. Our long history of success in the field of medicine and our focus on interprofessional healthcare education makes USD uniquely positioned to expand its ability to support local healthcare employers and services in South Dakota. With a strong interest in health science programs and an urgent need in South Dakota for a qualified labor force in the fields of nursing, mental health, addiction studies, dental hygiene, and social work, now is the time to modernize our facilities and provide a world-class academic and research space this program needs to reach its full potential. We are pleased to announce that the Board of Regents has forwarded our budget request for a new health sciences building to the governor, which we hope she will be able to include in her budget proposal to the legislature. The completion of a health sciences building will help centralize 11 programs once housed in 6 buildings, thereby facilitating preparation of students for collaborative practice. The new facility will provide hands-on simulation, classroom, and lab spaces. It will also allow dental hygiene's program to nearly double, allowing USD to meet the South Dakota projected shortage of dental hygienists. Just as a new health sciences building will distinguish USD as the state's leading producer of experts in medicine, health, and wellness, the newly renovated Dakota Dome will transform one of South Dakota's most iconic landmarks into a championship-level facility befitting a highly competitive Division I athletics program. Renovations to the dome began in February, and after 41 years, the dome will finally be completed prior to the start of the 2020 football season. The first phase of renovations focuses on the west side of the facility and will provide a Division I-worthy game day experience. We look forward to a new era of the Dakota Dome and celebrating the tradition and achievements that have created the legacy of USD athletics. This summer, we began a renovation to the National Music Museum, which will add approximately 16,000 square feet to the existing Carnegie building. For nearly 50 years, The National Music Museum has drawn visitors from all over the world to admire its historic holdings of musical instruments on the USD campus. But as its collection and prestige have increased, so has the need for a larger, updated facility. Funding for the $9.5 million building project comes substantially from the National Music Museum Board, USD, and a $700,000 matching grant from the City of Vermillion. This project will provide a new concert hall, temporary exhibits gallery, a gallery atrium, kid-friendly areas, a research and conservation lab, and 4,600 square feet of new exhibit spaces. The Vermillion Area Chamber and Development Company has also been instrumental in the museum's transformation. Their partnership with the museum to build and finance an off-site storage structure, which will be called the Center for the Preservation and Research, has been critical in its transformation. We are thankful to our donors, the City of Vermillion, and the VCDC, who all recognize that our world-class collection needs a world-class facility. The College of Fine Arts will also see significant change in its performance facilities starting this spring. USD will invest approximately $2.1 million into the renovations of Knutson Theater and another $1 million into the renovation of Colton Recital Hall in 2021. These renovations will include new upgrades like seating, house lights, painting, and flooring. These critical improvements will not only enrich the current student performance experience, but help USD grow its accomplished fine arts program. We look forward to the addition of Patriots Plaza to our beautiful campus. This plaza will honor veterans and active military service members, as well as USD's 3 Medal of Honor recipients. We are working with our alumni and friends to raise $200,000 to add this meaningful space to our campus, and USD has committed to matching up to $100,000 to ensure this project is successful. As we continue to care for our campus and protect the investments made in our world-class facilities, we also have a responsibility to keep USD accessible and affordable. We have already implemented significant changes simply by being proactive and making affordability a greater emphasis. For example, our new Open Textbook Fellowship program will allow approximately 2,000 undergraduate and graduate students to use free or low-cost textbooks. This program, which encourages faculty members to use open educational resources, is expected to save students approximately $150,000 over the course of the academic year. But this is just the beginning. We plan to continue the Open Textbook Fellowship program for the foreseeable future and expect it to have an even greater impact in years to come. Furthermore, in addition to opening Charlie's Bookstore and Fan Shop in the Munster University Center, USD has moved to a new online bookstore retailer operated by Academos, which will save students up to 60% off publisher list prices. This move has already saved students over $500,000 off the list price. These are impactful changes, but we continue to seek broader support at a systematic level. One key program, Dakota's Promise, remains a necessary step to ensure USD remains accessible to a large population of hardworking and academically qualified applicants that simply cannot afford to further their education. The gap between the cost to attend and available federal and/or merit-based aid is growing. Currently, a South Dakota Opportunity Scholarship eligible student with the highest financial need would still have a gap of approximately $4,400. USD has been losing Pell eligible students. And furthermore, as the gap grows, so does the does the difficulty of increasing enrollment and providing educational opportunities for all those who need and deserve it. Together with the other Regental universities, we will continue to advocate for Dakota's Promise by emphasizing the value a needs-based program would provide South Dakota. We know we can do more. We must do more. The Regental presidents agree this is a priority. The Board of Regents has agreed that this is a priority. 49 other states have already recognized that this is a priority, and it is time for South Dakota to no longer have the designation of having no needs-based financial aid program. The final fall enrollment numbers, we expect to see those tomorrow morning. They will not be released until then, but it's important for me to point out a strong correlation between the number of South Dakota high school graduates and the incoming USD class. This fall, South Dakota realized a decline of 201 high school graduates across the state. While USD generally captures roughly the same market share of students in South Dakota, this year our total enrollment may decline due to this dependence on the South Dakota high school graduates. We will continue to work hard to anticipate these trends and adjust our strategies accordingly through forecasting and the newly implemented strategic enrollment planning process. While the number of high school graduates in South Dakota is expected to rebound again next year, there is an important demographic shift that is occurring and must be considered if we're going to be successful. By 2032, the landscape of South Dakota high schools is projected to look different. Over the next 13 years, South Dakota predicts a decline in the proportion of white students from 86% to 74%. Non-white students are forecasted to grow by 1,400 students in that same time period. We have already seen this shift take place in Sioux Falls. The Sioux Falls School District went from 95 white students in 1990 to an estimated 61% white students in 2020. As South Dakota's flagship public university, we are committed to recruiting South Dakota students and preparing them to excel as leaders in our state's top businesses and organizations. As our state's population continues to evolve, we must consider how we welcome that population, how we support an increasingly diverse student body. Ongoing efforts, such as our Native American Cultural Center and the Center for Diversity and Community, are critical now more than ever. Unless South Dakota makes a real and impactful change, one like Dakota's Promise, our South Dakota universities will not experience dramatic enrollment change, nor will we be able to fuel the robust economy in a way that is necessary to support our vibrant business community. Now, we spend significant time and resources recruiting our students, and it's imperative that we treat our retention efforts in the same way. Since 2017, USD's retention rates have risen 72% up to 78%. A historic high for this university. Part of our retention growth is due to the implementation of Coyote Connections, which facilitates a more personalized contact with our students and allows faculty, advisors, and counselors to engage students to help them work through whatever difficulty they might face. USD is better for the efforts of Steve Ward and the Academic and Career Planning Center and all of the faculty utilizing the early alert systems to help our students work through difficulties and help them realize the success we all want them to achieve. So thank you for your efforts here. With these strategies in place, we are confident in our ability to reach a retention rate of 82%. This year, USD is adding a re-recruitment strategy to our overall retention efforts. While our retention resources are robust, our efforts currently focus on offering assistance during times of difficulty. The next addition to our retention strategy will be communicating with students at times when they may not be having trouble, but they may be questioning their decision or questioning their ability to be successful. Because of these efforts and more, what USD has done with graduation rate improvements is nothing short of remarkable. Since 2010, USD has increased its 4-year graduation rates by 22%. The 6-year graduation rate has improved by 12%. Those numbers are nearly double the average rate of change from the state's other regental institutions. And I am incredibly proud of our collective efforts to graduate and place students in meaningful careers. I'm pleased to report the USD School of Law continues to be on a record-setting positive trajectory. The law school is important to South Dakota because of its fundamental role in training the state's next generation of legal practitioners. This year, the law school enrolled a class of 85 students, which is up 16% over last year. This is one of the largest classes in nearly a decade, signaling USD's success in enrolling students who are prepared for the rigors of law school and passing the bar. 13 students received full tuition scholarships because of the incredible generosity of our alumni in-state. Dean Fulton has done a tremendous job implementing a culture of excellence, service, and leadership, and is dedicating even more resources to recruiting in-state students. As a result of the continued dedication and determination of our faculty, staff, alumni, friends, and the entire state of South Dakota, USD's School of Law future is bright. USD's other professional school, the Sanford School of Medicine, continues to be a critical contributor to South Dakota. Our medical students that complete a residency in South Dakota have an almost 80% chance of staying in the state to practice, one of the top rates in the nation. We are also at the top for the proportion of graduates practicing in rural areas, and we rank in the 98th percentile nationally for graduating students who are Native American or have military service. Our graduates not only stay in the state to serve, they also consistently ranked among the best of the best in the nation. This year, USD's internal medical residency program ranked first on performance scores out of 500 internal medicine residency programs in the United States. Number 1 in the country, first in the country. We are proud of our long history of being nationally recognized for excellence in medical education. And in South Dakota's business school that received a full 5-year accreditation by the world's leading accreditor and also attained a remarkable 8 commendations, students at the Beacom School of Business will now have access to Bloomberg terminals in the new Ellis Finance and Analytics Lab. This state-of-the-art learning laboratory will allow students to learn how to analyze financial markets, assess economic scenarios, and interpret key news developments that impact our global economy. As a university built upon the concept of lifelong learning, it's critical that learning is not just contained in the classroom, but is integrated into every aspect of university life. This spring, USD launched the President's Executive Leadership Institute and named its first cohort. I'm pleased to offer the Institute as a professional development program for USD's rising leaders, an initiative I believe was long overdue on campus. The program's curriculum has been carefully crafted to develop its fellows as future leaders, foster interdisciplinary collaborations, and cultivate a strong connection to the campus community. Thank you to the campus leaders who chose to take time out of their busy days. I hope this experience culminates in and is remembered as one of the most amazing years in your professional life. It's not only important to focus on professional development for our faculty and staff, but to offer USD's rising seniors an opportunity to expand their leadership capacity as they prepare for life after USD. This month, we launched the President's Senior Leadership Institute, a professional development and learning experience developed for seniors at USD. This development opportunity will teach our soon-to-be graduates about important life skills, from financial literacy to responsible citizenship to job readiness and professional etiquette. It will culminate in an alumni networking dinner in April as these coyotes prepare to launch their careers after graduation. Alumni and friends continue to show up in big ways for USD, supporting our students in Vermilion and across the nation. This year, 853 individuals stepped up to make Unite for USD, our first ever giving day, a success. Those individuals are part of more than 16,000 donors to the Onward campaign for South Dakota. Last April marked the completion of the Onward campaign, USD's most significant fundraising effort to date, surpassing an ambitious goal with over $272 million raised. With many exciting opportunities on the horizon, one that I'm particularly proud of is the USD Women in Philanthropy. The Women in Philanthropy have mentioned that their desire is to change the USD student experience for the better. As Coyote supporters, we know that alone we can do a little, but collectively we can make a tremendous impact. It is truly an incredible time to be a Coyote. USD's success is a direct reflection of the passion and dedication given by each and every one of you every day. Industries will propel forward, the workforce will expand, and the entire state will evolve because of all of you. As we continue to shape our future, we will move not just this state forward, but the nation and the world. We are thought leaders, we are difference makers, and we are South Dakota. Thank you for joining me today, and with that, I welcome any questions you may have. And now I get to walk around, which is a little easier. If there are no questions, I'm going to share a story. South Dakota, USD, is a pretty incredibly special place. We're small enough to have relationships with our students, but yet we're large enough to offer an incredible breadth of programs. And the nice thing about being small enough to be nimble is you can do special things for students. There was a student out in Chicago, cycle of her program cohort, they graduate in the summer. And graduation was set for a Friday. So according to this policy that we have, we weren't going to be able to issue a transcript until that Friday. But she was supposed to be licensed and ready to start working on Monday. And Chicago School District does not care if the University of South Dakota president calls. They just don't. So after a few phone calls, and this is what I love about South Dakota, I think we can do anything in South Dakota because we all have the ability to pick up the phone and talk to each other. After a few phone calls, we were able to get this student her transcript early. And she started on that Monday, and she was able to go through the entire training. And she was thoughtful enough to send me an email and thanking me for everything that the university had done to help her be able to start on time and get through all of that orientation. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for being a part of something that special, for making that student your priority. Munster here? He always gives me an easy question. Nothing? I guess everybody wants to go home. That's the benefit of having these at 4? Is that what that is? Well, if there aren't any questions, thank you for being here.